Hi, good afternoon. I'm Ira Somerset, the president of Master Management, and we're here on this auspicious occasion of the groundbreaking for the new irrigation system, one of the biggest projects, or the biggest project, to be done in Century Village since it was built in the 70s.
I'm with Masuin Consulting. We were the irrigation designer and consultant on this project. We master planned the system for the community in order to provide an efficient irrigation system into the future, an investment in the future for the community, as well as to help the community meet their permitting obligations through South Florida Water Management District.
We're going to be starting this new irrigation replacement. It should take approximately 3 years to do. And hopefully we can keep everything in the best order we can with the least amount of problems and the least amount of inconvenience for the residents.
As far as Master Management now with its new management group, I think that they've finally got something done that we've been all waiting for. And I'd like to applaud and thank Ira Somerset, President of Master Management, for having the foresight to get this project started. It's overdue, it's finally here, and it's financed in a proper method. And I wish us all a lot of luck. I'm the Vice Mayor of the City of Deerfield Beach, and I'm also a resident of Century Village.
Good afternoon. What an absolute beautiful day it is out here in Century Village. I'm proud to be part of this event today. Master Management handled it superbly, and we're very fortunate that they had the insight in finishing this project in a timely manner and in a great inexpense to their residents. Again, I'm proud to be here, and it is a beautiful Deerfield Beach day.
Well, I'm really excited to have this day finally come around. There is an aging irrigation system here in Century Village that needed to be replaced, and Master Management and the residents of Century Village have found a way to bring about a modern technology, a way to save water, to make sure that there is tons of water, not just for the residents of Century Village today, but all of those that are yet to come. I'm really pleased to see the project finally be turning dirt.
I always thought this day would come. I didn't think it would take so long, but now that it's here, I'm happy and I can't wait to celebrate today.
Being a member of the Irrigation Committee, I believe we handled it very well.
Well, the question to me was what my opinion was of how Master Management handled this project so far. And I have to tell you, although it was a very long and tedious project of almost about 4 years, we at Master Management hired consultants and experts on every step of the way, and I think it's finally a success, and it's something we desperately need here in the community.
I am delighted that this day has finally come, because never has a project been more studied over so long by so many competent and top-flight engineering firms and gone over. And not only that, but thanks to our incomparable executive director, has tremendous project management experience. He was able to handle the very complex issues involved in financing, contracting, bidding, and engineering.
Good afternoon, Commissioner Jacobs, Mayor Lolan, Commissioner Propelski, ladies and gentlemen, thank you all for coming. I'm Al Smith, Executive Director of CVEMM Master Management Company. The last groundbreaking ceremony that I had the privilege of participating in was the 47-acre container yard expansion at Southport in Port Everglades. A large project even by Port Everglades standards, and while that project was more expensive in terms of drainage and soil surcharging, it pales in the size of this 316-acre project that this little village is about to embark upon. The groundbreaking here today is a very significant milestone for Master Management and for Century Village, and I thank you all for sharing it with us. I'm proud to be associated with Century Village, and I'm excited to be involved in this project, as I hope you all are. I want to take just a moment to introduce a new member of Master Management staff, the construction project manager for the new irrigation project, Walter Magenheim. Is he here? Where's Walter? There's Walter Magenheim. You'll be seeing an awful lot of him, the residents here will. And now I'd like to introduce the Master of Ceremonies for this afternoon, the President of CVE Master Management Company Incorporated, Mr. Ira Somerset.
Well,
thank you one and all. Thanks for being here. Al's, this is pretty much Al's first day back at work. He had some surgery, and he's, if you see him limping, that's why he's still pretty far from healed. So, moving on. Good afternoon, Commissioner Jacobs, Mayor Nolan, Commissioner Popelski, ladies and gentlemen. CVE Master Management welcomes you to the groundbreaking ceremony for Century Village East's new irrigation system. We appreciate your interest, and thank you all for coming. We're here to participate in an event which is truly a first for the community. Those of us present are witnessing the first shovelfuls of soil being moved for the largest construction project since Century Village was built in the 1970s. Each of our invited guests has participated in one way or another, helping us with this undertaking. Our invited guests are here from Broward County, the city of Deerfield Beach, South Florida Water Management District, Wells Fargo Bank, Masuin Consulting, who is our design consultant, by the way, and Treasure Coast Irrigation, who are the contractors. Our system will cover 316 acres under irrigation, and it's a $7.3 million project. Computer-controlled, modern system. I'd like to especially recognize the members of the Irrigation Committee for their work on this project. Anthony Falco, who was the first vice president and the chairman of the committee. Mel Schmier. Don Kaplan. Where's Don? Fred Rosenzweig. And Dan Glickman. Where's Dan? Dan. Hey, thank you. Okay, just a little bit of the history. In 2009, we conducted a study on the irrigation system that found that the existing system was obsolete. They recommended replacement of the system rather than renovation. Master Management then began planning for a new system. In late 2009 and early 2010, we selected a design consultant, and we awarded a contract for the design of the system. At the same time, to provide what is referred to as value engineering, we hired an irrigation contractor, Research Irrigation Incorporated, and they worked with the designer, but for us. Their function was to review the process and the work product for constructability, value engineering, scheduling, and cost estimating at the 50% design level and at the completion of the design before we accepted it. During the summer and fall of 2010, the state-of-the-art system was designed by Masuin Consulting. In the winter and spring of 2011, we obtained financing through Wachovia Bank, now Wells Fargo Bank, and the project was put out to bid. We pre-qualified 4 major contractors for this bid. They all responded. In April 14, 2011, the Board of Directors met and awarded the contract to Treasure Coast Irrigation of Hope Sound, Florida. The construction schedule is approximately 3 years, with financing again provided by Wells Fargo Bank. The irrigation system will consist of 3 energy-efficient pump stations, each 165 horsepower. They'll provide more irrigation capacity with a substantial reduction in the electrical and power consumption than the current system that we have now, which has a total of 705 horsepower, which is 50% more than we'll be putting in. The new system will be driven by a weather station, which will calculate the evapotranspiration. It will also input information on rainfall, wind speed, temperature, humidity, soil moisture from sensors located throughout our 1 square mile community. And it's all, again, computer controlled. The new system will allow the village to operate its irrigation system in full compliance with all applicable operating permits and water conservation ordinances, while applying water only to those areas where and when it's needed in the minimum quantities required. This is an exciting project for us and the residents of Century Village East, and I say that each of you share our excitement and our enthusiasm for this much-needed and long-awaited project. Now I'd like to turn the microphone over to our first speaker, Broward County Commissioner Kristen Jacobs.
Go. See if I can get this out of here. There. Feel better facing you instead of turning sideways. Well, you know there's an expression, it takes a village to raise a child. Well, I would alter that today and say that it takes a village to raise, R-A-Z-E, an old irrigation system and come up with a new modern one, and that's Century Village. It's really remarkable that you've gotten this far on the existing system, and truly remarkable that the leadership of this community took it upon themselves to really work through all of the myriad issues, and this is a huge, huge project with a huge commitment by the citizens of Century Village to figure out a way to pay for it and understanding the importance of upgrading the old system, because as we know, we've seen irrigation happening on days where the rain had been pouring and the water is still coming out of the sprinklers. We've seen areas where they just completely died because there was no irrigation there at all. And overall, we know that we in South Florida, particularly even in Broward County, 50% of all the potable water that's clean water pulled up from our aquifer is used to irrigate landscaping. And many times that water is being used inappropriately and it's being used in excess. And often that is because of aging systems that would help understand the best areas to irrigate and how often to irrigate and how much you do or don't need given the soil conditions, which is another amazing thing about this system, is it will be able to tell how wet the soil is, and it will give water to the areas when it needs it, when the plants need it, not when a man or a woman happen to come by and turn on the system, but it will look at the entire village and assess the needs and deliver the proper amount of water, which is going to save you money. It's going to save you money not only in the water that you're using, but again in the staff time and maintenance as you try to add up just over the years the amount of dollars that are continuing to escalate to keep this system up and running has just really been taxing. To all of those involved in it, it has been a very taxing project. So I'm really pleased to be here today to be part of the unveiling of this project, to watch Century Village march forward strongly into the future with newer technology that understands that conservation of our water resources is probably one of the most important things that we need to do, particularly in South Florida with the issues associated with sea level rise and the attendant issues with saltwater intrusion. All of our eastern wells, we've lost a lot of them on the very far east of the entire 24-mile coast of Broward County. But as that saltwater line moves inwards, we can either slow it down or help it move a little bit faster, all depending on how much water, how many straws are down there in the aquifer pulling up that water and how many are using it appropriately. And it's really exciting to be representing a district with a place like Century Village that understood the importance of conservation, of doing your part to ensure that there's not only water for the people who are here today who need it, but for all the residents still to come and find a wonderful home here in Century Village. So thank you so much for making me a part of this great day. I appreciate it.
You all set? Yeah. Thank you. Thank you, Commissioner. Next speaker is Mayor Nolan, Mayor of Deerfield Beach.
I'm going to do the same. Good afternoon. It's a gorgeous day, and I am so proud to be here today, and thank you, Ira, for inviting me. It's not every day that communities like Century Village or anywhere in the city take such a giant step and worry about the environment and what they can do and how they can get involved. And as Commissioner Jacobs said, we are so fortunate that you look to the future. A lot of times people think, oh, someone else will do it, or they'll take the stand that, oh, it's not my worry. But you went and you stepped up to the plate. So I thank you. It's a pleasure to be here. And I know my city engineer's here, and I believe he might have helped you out a little bit. Charlie DeBrusco, I want to make sure that everyone knows that Charlie's here. And of course, Commissioner Popowski, he had some eye surgery, so he's not going to stand up here and speak today. But again, I look forward to this project's completion, and it's going to be for the future of the community as well as the people that are here now. So thank you very much. It's easier.
Thank you. Yeah, it's easier. It's easier. Thank you, Mayor. Okay, I have a list of people, but most people said they'd rather not. So moving down, I have no name here for South Florida Water Management District. Is someone here? Steve? Steve! I'm sorry, I didn't see you over there, didn't recognize you. Steve and I have been email buddies for, I don't know, I feel like I've known you most of my life. 5 years, yeah, almost half my life. Did you want to say a few words, or just surprised, speechless that this day actually came? Is that it? Okay. For those of you that didn't hear him, he agreed. Okay, Mr. Irwin, Alan Irwin from Wells Fargo Bank would like to say a few words. He's the man to whom we owe, or will owe, a lot of money.
Actually, the most important banker here today is Jocelyn Frank, because Jocelyn did all the work over the last year in order to get the financing done. So I just stand up here and look pretty. She actually did all the work. So we're very pleased to represent Wells Fargo today as we celebrate the groundbreaking of Century Village's newest capital improvement program, the irrigation project. We're proud to provide Century Village with the financing in order to be able to do this today. As the nation's #1 small business lender, 3 years in a row, I might add, we were really pleased to step up and do it.
Day come to pass. It has been quite a project. And Wells Fargo, you all worked equally, made some changes with us to help us make this happen. We appreciate that. The committee spent just countless hours and a lot of time. Masuin, want to thank them. Tim Carroll, where are you? Tim Carroll's going to be our project manager. That's the face you got to get to know. The guy with the hat right back there, Tim Carroll. He's been with us a number of years. He ran a great project for us in Anguilla, in Antigua, and he's used to big projects. And I want you to know today that our commitment is, of course, we look forward to that day 3 years from now when we're back here and celebrating the completion. But there's a lot of work to be done between now and then. And our commitment to you is that you'll have the best quality of life you can have while we're here. We know that we make a mess. We'll try to keep that mess to a minimum, but there will be times it will be a mess. And we know there'll be traffic concerns, safety concerns, and that's paramount. So we're talking about that, working through that, making sure that we can provide not only the greatest system that's been designed by Masuin, but in the process that it'll be manageable and tolerable as well. And that 3 years from now, that folks here will say the best decision we ever made was hiring treasure folks to put this system in. Thank you very much. It's great to see you. Well, good afternoon. What a day this is. Welcome. Welcome to District 2, Broward County Commissioner Jacobs, Deerfield Beach Mayor Judy Nolan. I'm sorry, Peggy Nolan, and Vice Mayor Kapelski. And the members of Master Manager Irrigation Committee, distinguished guests, friends, and loved ones. Thank you. Today marks both the beginning and the end of our project, our irrigation project. We have waited a long time for this day. Today, at long last, the construction project begins. We have truly come a long way and realized that the community's dream is finally going to come true. And I'd like to thank everybody on the committee for all their hard work and efforts. And a couple of questions have always been asked. One main question sticks in my mind: can we afford this? And my answer always is we can't afford not to do this. So I want to celebrate today and thank everybody for coming here, and let the work begin. Thank you.
Thanks, Anthony. We had 2 other members of the committee that had asked to speak. Mel Schmier.
Thanks to all of you who've joined us on this great day for Century Village. Thanks to all who made this day possible. And a very special thanks to my colleagues on the Irrigation Committee and our hardworking chairman, Anthony Falco, for bringing his great business sense and his extensive experience in construction to bear. He's too modest. To all the members of the Master Management Board of Directors and our officers who have had the foresight and good sense to go forward with this project, realizing that you can only put so many Band-Aids on something bleeding to death before you have to do major surgery. We also owe a debt of gratitude to our designer and consultant, Todd Moeller and his able staff, who answered all our difficult questions with their expertise and the highest degree of professionalism. And I guess I should add patience also. Our sincerest thanks are owed to our Executive Director, Al Smith. Al, you're the best thing that has happened to Century Village in a very, very long time. Your expertise in engineering, in construction, and in contracting have been invaluable. Without you, we might, so to speak, still be wandering in the desert. Thanks, Al. You're the greatest. Once again, thank you all for being here.
Thank you. I prepared a remark or two, but Mel has pretty much said what I wanted to say. I just want to say it was a great privilege and pleasure to be on the Irrigation Committee amongst a group who worked very, very hard for several years on putting this together. It's a really great day. I want to thank the President of Master Management, Artemis Somerset, and Anthony Falco, of course, who is chair of the Irrigation Committee, and everyone else involved. And I wanted to say a word about the owners here. Many of us have been trying for many years to plant things. Many of us have been trying to redress what happened in Wilma, which destroyed a community that had a canopy and was really beautiful when I moved here 7 years ago. Many of us have been trying to block out some of the noise from 10th Street and elsewhere, which trees do. And we've been working very hard. We've been, I feel like, a real bond with the people I've been reading about lately in Havana, Cuba, who've been trying to keep their 55 Plymouth going with duct tape all these years later. That's what we've been doing. So I want to say that from now on, we're going to make a very big start. There are many associations just dying to plant. Some of us have started already and worked very hard to keep it going. And I think we're starting the beginning of the greening of Century Village for many, many years to come and for many generations of owners. Might I say, not just us. Thank you to all involved, and thanks for everyone to come and celebrate this moment.
Unless there'll be more late comers, we have two more speakers.
2008, when I was president of Master Management, I saw the waste and inefficiency of this manual, labor-intensive system we had. That is why I've continually supported the effort for an automatic irrigation system for CVE. It has been more than 3 years since preliminary work began, but a project of this importance and size required careful planning and design. I, along with every resident, are optimistic and enthusiastic about this project and look with anticipation as it is implemented. Thank you.
I am especially proud of this project for one main reason. I think Commissioner Jacobs mentioned the water supply system, the saltwater intrusion. Well, I'm the one running all of the city's water supply wells in the city, constantly monitoring them for saltwater intrusion. And there are major problems. We've been lucky in that we've moved a lot of wells out west. We've put in some Florida and aquifer wells, which doesn't take from the Biscayne, so it's a little bit better for our system. You guys are just helping me along, and I really appreciate it because I'm having a tough enough time keeping the water supply going, and this will certainly help us, and I thank you for the city.
Thank you. Unless there's someone else with a desire to come up here and be recorded for posterity.